it's not difficult. And I
Mm.
think the hardest thing is getting over your fear of getting it wrong. Your Time to Talk is primarily a low-cost therapy practice offering placements to students, which enables us in turn to offer low-cost psychotherapy, psychosexual and relationship therapy across the UK and worldwide.
Perfect. And I know since we started, your website's grown quite a lot. And I think in the past 5 years, you've added lots of new pages, lots of
Yeah.
features.
Yeah, so when we first started working together, we had 6 students on placement, and now we have anywhere between 25 and 35 students, and we've also got some qualified therapists as well. So mostly working online, but also now in 10 locations across the UK. So the practice has grown, and so the website has had to grow with it.
Okay. And just to give an idea, like something that made it's gone well, something that you found you've been able to adapt to.
Um, I think that um, I've learned a lot in the time that I've been working with you, and my confidence has grown. So the things that I do now, like the SEO and keeping on top of that and adding articles, I wouldn't have been able to do a few years ago. So what I can do now is kind of instant changes. So if somebody's full, I can quickly say they're full. I can quickly publish an article. If we're not getting many inquiries in a particular location, I can go in and tweak the SEO.
Hmm.
And people say to me, "Why do you do it? It's a big practice. Why do you do it?" Because it's not difficult. And I think the hardest thing is getting over your fear of getting it wrong.
Like when you were adding the
Yeah,
blogs, like I know the first time you were doing it, second time, maybe you had questions and you were kind of getting a little bit
yeah.
stuck. But then I think within 2 or 3 attempts you have it, and now I can see them constantly coming up.
Yeah, and
So I
that's what I
think,
was going to say. I do get it wrong. And I message you and get to say, "Oh my God, I've really screwed it up. What do I do?" And you say, "Don't panic, it's all right," because nothing's irreversible.
hmm.
The history is saved. You can roll back to a previous version. So I think fear is the biggest obstacle to looking after your own website.
Yeah, and I think a lot of therapists they say, "Oh, I'm scared of breaking it." And as you said, like Elementor, you can go back history on the same session and previous sessions.
Yeah,
So you can always undo anything that you've done.
yeah.
And it's just a case of, so I don't know if you find the videos helpful. I normally send you like a 2, 3 minute video.
You got me into Loom. I use Loom videos a lot now for tutorials and things like that. It's so helpful to be
Perfect. And I
guided
think
through it. Yeah.
and I think that's something as well. If you can see someone else doing it, it takes away that the unknown of like what to click on, where should I be going kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, as with life, we learn when we get it wrong.
And then like what's the biggest benefit? You said obviously time saving, having been able to update things on the fly.
Yeah.
Have you noticed it's helped your practice? I know we've worked on the AI SEO as well.
Yeah.
Has that made any kind of impact at
It's
all?
made a huge impact. So around March time, we noticed a significant drop off in inquiries, and no other conditions around the practice had changed. And that's when I spoke to you and said, "Look, I really think we need to refresh the SEO to
Mm.
reflect the way, Google searches." So you did a lot of work for me and with me on that. And within a month, the inquiries were back to normal levels, and now they're probably higher than they ever have been.
And I think, is there anything that maybe has been a bit tricky or that you found a bit complicated you may not want to do in future?
The AI SEO, yeah. Yeah, because there's, when you start talking to me about short codes and things, I'm like, no, you've lost me now. So I'll take it as far as I can. But I also know, and I think about my time, I could spend hours trying to understand that when actually it's better that someone who really knows what they're doing does it.
So I think, yeah, that's the main thing. Find stuff that's easy, repeatable, stuff that adds value, but that
Yeah,
you can do without having too much of a process.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
is there, if you were going to go back and do it again, is there anything that you changed from like the beginning? When we were first started working together, is there anything that you would have done differently?
It's really easy now to say with hindsight that perhaps the profile pages I would have looked at differently, maybe not have them in alphabetical order. But then we have to work with what is available at the time and the technology that's available at the time. So what's possible now, perhaps wasn't possible then. Um,
Mm.
so no, there isn't anything I would do differently, because I think that the site has evolved as the practice and technology has evolved.
That's perfect. And then just thinking about kind of SEO, I know that you can go in and add keywords and titles and
Mm.
descriptions. Do you think, I mean, do you still need help in terms of finding the right words, or do you have quite a good grasp of your
No,
website?
I've got quite a good grasp, and I think the trickiest thing is finding the balance between what you really want to say,
Mm,
and matching that to what Google is going to search for. And it's not about kind of keyword stuffing because it's still got to read kind of naturally. But
mm,
what I find with Elementor is there's so much guidance. It tells me what I can do to improve the SEO score.
mm. And have you got any plans, now you said about the profiles, have you got any plans for the next year or two to kind of upgrade it or to make any improvements to the site?
Yeah, what I want to do is work with you to randomize the profile pages so that all the therapists beginning with A are super busy and all those beginning with Z are not. So it's that kind of randomization. So that's really all I want to do because the site works. We don't want online booking. It's a big practice, and we like it to be very personal. So we have the practice administrator who does that. So no, there's nothing else. There's nothing else I want to do other than improve the profile pages.
Yeah, and I mean, you said you had between 30 and 40 associates and therapists on there, so it's a constantly dynamic, constantly changing
Yep.
website.
Yes.
Like even for me, when I'm managing a similar site, that's quite a lot of work. Do you spend some time every month, or how do you allocate time to it?
I tend to do it in chunks. So we will recruit for placement therapists two, 3 times a year, and those are my busy times, and I block out chunks of time to update the website. But otherwise, it's just making changes as we go. So
Hmm.
our practice administrator will say someone's full, they can't take on any more clients, or someone's qualified and is leaving the practice. So I will make those changes, and those changes take me 10, 15 minutes. So they're easy to accommodate into the day.
Yeah, and I think one thing about SEO is if you make small incremental changes, so like every month making a minor change to the website, you're going to have a much bigger impact than doing a whole load and then leaving it for a year or two. And
Yeah,
I keep saying to therapists, like it's just a little thing, like maybe I don't know, an hour a month will actually save you spending money on ads and looking at other things. And I
absolutely.
think
We have
you're,
never used ads, never
mm,
ever. I know like when I had a panic about, oh, we're not getting the inquiries, should I invest in Google ads? And we haven't needed to because we've got the SEO right.
mm. And you're obviously building awareness locally in all the different locations as well.
Yeah, so
Um,
I think the big thing that has helped as well is having the Instagram feed. Um, so we post only sort of 2 or 3 times a week, but we make them location specific as well. So
mm,
that really helps. And obviously we've got the live Instagram feed being pulled through to the website. So that in itself keeps it fresh.
per- Thank you very much. So what I'm going to do now is quickly look at your site
Sure.
and then we'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much. Let me just go
Okay.
back and share the screen. So obviously you've got your low-cost therapists, and
Hmm.
then this is what we're going to work on. So to change it from alphabetical to a random order.
Yep.
And then each of these, as you go into the profile, you find out more about their bio, and each of them, some of them have a video as well. And I think another thing is video is really good for SEO. So it's great that you've actually managed to get most of your therapists, including a video.
Yeah, not everybody
Um,
wants to do them, but we've also found that we get more inquiries for the people who have videos.
mm. Because it gives that bit of engagement. They can
Yeah,
actually, the client can see what it's like to speak to them. It just gives them
yeah,
like more of an understanding of what they're like. And then
absolutely.
you've got obviously the experienced therapist here. And then as you looked at, I mean, the locations, every time I speak to you, there's a new location. But this is really good. Local SEO is very, very powerful. And that's something you've done well, where you've got the location, the map, the relevant other locations, um, and then obviously your articles as well. So you're going in and you're adding, um, I guess, semi-regularly new resources, and you've split it into categories.
Yeah.
Do you find are there certain topics that are more popular than others, I guess, more you get
Um,
more inquiries for?
No, I would honestly say no, there's nothing really. So we are a practice that works within gender, sex, erotic relationship diversity. So we do get a lot of inquiries there, but a lot of our students are training to be psychosexual therapists. So they have specific presentations that they need to work with. So it's always good to have an article on a topic which
Mm,
generates interest in that topic.
perfect. Thank you, Dad. I really appreciate your time, and we'll catch up soon.
Thanks, Theo.